What's happening? I'm back with you again. Just want to share some more interesting things or things that I found interesting or learned. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming back. I do appreciate your time. Love spreading this energy and just getting that vibration up and just sharing some knowledge and sharing some experience or just interesting things, as you all are wonderful and interesting people. And definitely drop me a like so I can show up in the algorithm and reach more wonderful people like yourself. Share this video, you know what I mean? Help me spread that message out there, and come along for the ride. Check out the music that's on my channel as well. This is my music and vlog channel, King A.D.S, IA the Shadow, or A.D.S, either or. And we live, and I want to say that we live in a place, we all know this, we live in a place of change, constant change, exchange, and cause and effect. And as things are happening around us, whether they are in control or out of control, they affect us in different ways. And while there is sometimes a source of where actions are taking place from the outside that can affect us, those things are true. But we also have to be very careful to guard our own energy and not give energy to the outside source and get into a habit of only noticing outside things affecting us when we're not noticing the strength and ability that we already possess to change a scenario or to make something happen from scratch and create some energy in a scenario and put it out there in our own narrative, instead of having one that's just dictated to you, right? You can create your own. And so with that, is along with, with the bad habit, we get into not having a sense of, in a way, we get into a habit of not having a sense of self accountability, right? Where everything else becomes the issue, and we don't look at ourselves as having the issue, but it's everything else. When I would just say that we're participating and reacting in our own ways, and our participation is what dictates the way it's going to go. As I was just stating in the last video, like the interaction of the focus, the intent, which gives gives substance and order to the way events can play out, right? So the same thing here, that the actions we start to fall into is to essentially give our power away, and or we just stop noticing our own power and start paying more attention to the outside. And so that's going to rob you as well, right? So how do we stop doing that? Or also, even in, like, you might even see it from a young age, like even in your own household or whatever, your siblings or your family or whatever, friends, close friends, you're around each other so much, and maybe there was a time or two where you borrowed something and forgot to give it back or misplaced it or something. And then from that point forward, it goes to, hey, they always ask you, hey, did you do anything with this particular item or such and such? And I think even there, it kind of creeps its way in to a point where we're starting to, push that off. Maybe how come we don't look for it ourselves, thinking, what did I do with it first? We used to do that, and then it's like it crosses over gradually into someone else must have done something with it. Start to become suspicious in the long run, like someone stealing from you and stuff like that, right? Like, it's really weird. And if a person were to keep going with that, then it gets more destructive, because then they start, painting narratives of people's character before they even cover all the bases. So, just like the other time, we go in through this matrix in the drift with nothing, right? With nothing, we just try to be centered. But, so the question is, and the topic is, right, like, self accountability. So how do you keep self accountability and things like that, right? Well, of course, one of the most foremost and obvious ones is to spend more time with yourself, right? Spend more time with yourself doing things, so that way when things do come up, you don't have anyone else to blame. So then you're forced to ask yourself, what did I do with this? How did I do this? What was I doing? Did I forget? I should have wrote this down, whatever, right? And then the other ways are to take up practices or set goals, right? Set goals for yourself, things you want to accomplish. So you have to hold yourself to a certain standard. And while you're doing that, you can also monitor your own behavior and attitude shifts, your behavioral patterns, and things like that. So you can kind of take note of what you're doing. And if you don't notice what you're doing and it just takes more time, then maybe you just, basically, yeah, you just need to spend more time there until you stop thinking that just because you can't find something or something didn't go your way, that it has to be an outside source. And like we said in the beginning, as yes, that could be true, that does happen, but it can't be what you focus on, because if you do that, you'll never fight your way out of that wet paper bag. You know what I mean? So it's like you can see why it's a dilemma. Like your self accountability makes you stronger. You know what I mean? It makes you more determined. So yeah, so doing activities, setting goals for yourself, that also helps because you have no one else to blame if you fail at that particular task that you set for yourself. Most of the time, the only person you'll have to look at is the person in the mirror, or the camera or whatever that can reflect back, with that same equivalent exchange that you made. You know what I mean? So that's what it comes down to. And so don't not being caught up with the crowd to the point where your energy could lash out and latch on to other things, that helps. And also, having a practice and setting certain goals so you can have an accomplishment and make it through, and also have some self accountability of your own and not having to dish it off on anyone else. But when you become responsible to carry the weight, it becomes a lot more important, especially, and it hurts your feelings more too if you don't accomplish the goal. You know what I mean? And then you'll start to assess why, you know what I mean? But if it's just you there, then it's a lot easier to get along with this process because it's a hard pill to swallow. But there's mainly, you to hold accountable, So instead of saying they and this and that, it's like what did I do? What did I do? And that's something that needs to take place as we move forward, and everything's so instant, and it's almost like the detachment from a personality, a real human being, knowing that we really are these amazing, enigmatic beings, having this experience and stuff. And so communication is key, and unraveling that with understanding, walking in other people's shoes and scenarios and things. And so everything has a reason, cause and effect. You know what I mean? So finding out more about the cause and effect is more efficient to untangling the obstacles in the way with others. You know what I mean? So we all function a little more smooth and go with the flow instead of against it. And so yeah, self accountability is a big one. Especially when, like I was saying, when everything's so instant too. So must be a problem with the system, or right away, or you might see someone get their order wrong at a drive-through and now this person's incompetent and things like that. But so it's just, but it's all about accountability. You know what I mean? Do you have to take that brash of an action? Do you need to spread that energy? How is that perceived? How are you communicating? Was that your best self? Also, with this person on their side, they made an error, a mistake. Then they didn't mean to make the mistake. And why did they make a mistake? Probably because they're under the gun to produce a certain amount of numbers for a certain company's level of expectations on paper. So everything has its reason and cause and effect. So the more we're accountable for our own behavior, actions, and decisions and all that stuff, the better the world gets. And so yeah, man, self accountability and how to build that, a little bit. Just wanted to share a little bit of that. Not like I'm the end all be all, as I always say. I'm not trying to get on here and act like I know everything or I'm the guru or anything like that. But just when the message shines through or comes through, I like to share that too. And now I don't have a million followers or viewers or nothing like that, but I'm a person that wants to use this technology, as I always say, as a window to communicate. I feel my first and foremost strength is communication and connecting the dots. And so I just trying to do, a little bit of both at the same time with y'all, and hoping that it reaches and resonates and you feel the warmth and sincerity and authenticity in what I say. You know what I mean? And I do appreciate y'all. Do check out all the music, check out the rest of my talk topic videos or vlogs or whatever you want to call them. I love big shouts out to all my friends, family, all the people that may be seeing this for the first time, people that I met out in the field recently and online. I love all y'all. I appreciate you deeply. Shine with me. Let's shine bright. Let's keep rising, and let's keep, and if you got anything to add, man, a comment, a cool comment, or any other information, or to turn me on to something or anything like that, man, I'm all game. You know what I'm saying? So much love to you. Respect, peace, keep elevating. Man, till the next one. Peace.